now is we're going to look at some positive news, because this is a case that I followed right from the very beginning. This case sort of, oh, look at this one. Yeah, this lady, though we didn't know who she was then, this is the facial reconstruction that was done of a body that was found in Chorlton Water Park. Now, this is in Manchester, in the UK, for people who don't know. And the reason why, right from the beginning, when I saw this case, I reported on it, or, apart from the fact it's an unidentified person, because originally there was no photo of it. There was just details of the clothing that had been found on a woman who'd been found in Chorlton Water Park. Now, I was born in Chorlton. I lived in Chorlton for maybe 19, 20 years and maybe more. And I used to walk there a lot where this woman was found. So immediately, it's like the thought of a body being found there in this water park and unidentified. Wonder if I can get up the clothes that they were showing. So first of all, the thing is, the only reason I'm looking for this, because they were distinctive clothes. Yeah, let's see if I can find the photo of them. Yeah. Now, do you remember this? Remember when I showed this particularly, you would remember this lime green sort of boob tube or bodice type thing. Apparently it was a Primani top, and that was very distinctive, because I remember thinking at the time, gosh, surely, if your sister or your friend or your girlfriend or anyone came out with you in that, you would remember it, wouldn't you? I mean, it's distinctive. It's not only a little bit distinctive, because obviously maybe it's not distinctive because of the type of clothing it is. People wear things like that in the summer, but the colour. Of course you would remember if your family member had worn that, wouldn't you? That's how it struck me straight away. I couldn't believe she hadn't been identified, because it just seemed. So then it made you wonder, was it, an SEX worker or somebody who was sort of fallen off the grid or whatever? Because how could somebody not remember their loved one wearing that? So I remember thinking that. And then they released the sort of ID photo, what do you call it, identikit or whatever it is photo. Let's have a look at that again, closer up. So then eventually they made like this reconstruction of what this woman, this poor unfortunate soul, looked like. And that's how she's been identified. But do you know what is really, really worrying to me? She had been reported missing. She had been reported missing. So why was her identity not found sooner? Why was her DNA not tested against missing, women that had been reported missing of a similar age, etc.? I don't understand that. Anyway, I'm sure it'll all come out in the wash. So it turns out it's this lady, bless her, Laura Stanley. Now, although I don't think she looks really, really like that, you can see in the cheekbones, like she seemed to have those dimples. Anyway, a family member recognised from that reconstruction Laura Stanley. God rest Laura. Discovered in the River Mersey near Chorlton Water Park on the 21st of March last year. So it's taken a year to identify this woman. Now, I would understand that if she hadn't been reported missing, but apparently she was reported missing. So I don't understand why she's not been identified before. Anyway, a woman whose body was found in a river was identified after a relative recognised the reconstruction of her face. Laura Stanley, 38, bless her, was found in the River Mersey near Chorlton Water Park on 21st of March 2024. Greater Manchester Police brought in facial reconstruction experts from Liverpool, John Moores University, to produce an image of how Miss Stanley, originally from Derbyshire but living in Stockport. I know Stockport so well. I've got so many family living in Stockport. And that's actually when number one son went back briefly to live in the UK, or say went back. He was born in the UK, to be fair, but that's where he lived, in Stockport. I stayed there a few times with him. And in a tribute, her family described her as kind and gentle mother with a great sense of fun and adventure. So she's left children behind as well. So the university's face lab created the reconstruction, which helped one of Miss Stanley's relatives recognise her. And then a DNA match to a family member was made. Paying tribute to her, Miss Stanley's family said she was generous, thoughtful, caring, and always keen to volunteer within the community. Look, what happened? What happened to Laura? I mean, is this going to be a case of someone unaliving themselves, or is this going to be a case of foul play? Laura was a proud and loving mum, and she will be greatly missed by her girls and all of her friends and family who loved her dearly. What happened to Laura? Anyway, Greater Manchester Police said it was continuing to investigate her last movements, the events that led to her death, and the discovery of her body in the river. The force believes she was last seen in January 2024. So it's a year. But she was reported missing. I tell you, the police they've found a body in the water. They've got a woman who's been reported missing, and they haven't linked it up. So Detective Inspector Louise Edwards said, "We will now continue to investigate Laura's last movements and how she ultimately came to be discovered in the River Mersey just over a year ago. There are answers her family deserve, and we will be keeping them updated as we carry out this work." And Greater Manchester Police added that the Professional Standards Directorate are reviewing a previous missing persons report relating to Miss Stanley and whether the force followed it up properly. No, you didn't. They didn't follow it up properly. There was a body there of a woman found near Stockport. Chorlton is not far from Stockport. And you've got a missing person from Stockport and it wasn't linked. Yeah, it makes me angry. That it makes it, people, the worth of people is just not respected in society, is it? It's got a body of a young woman. You've got a missing persons report of a woman, similar age, similar area, and they're not linked. So it took the facial reconstruction before they were linked. It shouldn't have had to come to that. Find a body, you looked at all the people that have been reported missing, anyone matches that description, similar age, just being a woman, test them, DNA test them. Why was that not done? No, I don't understand why that wasn't done. This woman should have been identified so much sooner. I mean, I know it doesn't make any difference to the ultimate. The ultimate fact is she's not with us anymore. But her family have worried about her for longer than maybe they should have had to worry about her. She was there all the time. She was found last year, deceased, and her family, it was not matched up. How irritating. you know, terrible. And it was only after the finally, I mean, at least they did that, did the facial reconstruction, and a family member recognised her. But now it turns out that there was a missing persons report out for her. So I was starting to think about this lady, that, you know, maybe she was trafficked, you know, maybe she was Eastern European, and she had no family in the UK. Why had nobody reported her missing? This is what I was thinking. But she was reported missing. God. Anyway, fly free, Laura. Hope you're at peace. I hope they find out what happened to you, especially if it was foul play. You know, it's not clear at the moment what it was, but bless her. At least she has been identified. Her family know they'll be able to, you know, claim her remains, give her a proper send-off, say goodbye in a respectful manner, all those things. But I do think 100% that this woman should have been identified earlier, and the family could have been put out of their misery much earlier, I think. But anyway, nothing can be done now, just enough, I suppose, to know that they do know where she is now. And they, as I say, they can take her home, put her to rest. Okay, so one more story to tell you about. Hi, Jean. We're going to be talking about so that was I know that it's depressing, obviously, when anyone is deceased, but it's a positive note that she has now been identified and given a